Everybody can get knocked out. The human brain, the human body, the way your face is constructed, it's just not designed to get punched. So look at this right here. That could have easily KO'd
That would
him.
have dropped me.
Yeah, a good shot. I mean, he's got good defense though. He fought well. He did everything well.
I
And
could be any
fight.
fighter alive at the press conference, but that shit, forget it.
Yeah, it is a real fight. They're showing it in slow motion. It was, it's hard. Fighting's hard. It's hard not to look sloppy. It's hard to look perfect. To get to a point where you're looking like, an Andre Berto or like Floyd Mayweather, it takes a long fucking time to develop that kind of timing and poise and movement.
A lifetime.
Yeah, forever. So what he did though is it shows character that he took that chance. That's a rare person.
When my kid was young, my youngest son, he got really into boxing. I used to take him down to Wild Card in Hollywood when we were in L.A. And he trained with Justin Juco and shit like that.
Really?
Juco was a great trainer because he'd make everything fun for my son. And my son got really into it. And one day, he was young. He's like, I want to spar somebody. And so they put him in the ring with this top amateur contender. Little guy, but, he was nice with it. And my son, in his little child talk, was like, I'm going to fuck this guy up. I'm like, no, you're not. They got in there, and, he did all right. But the gym got real amped. And I remember one of the fighters came over to me and was like, this thing your son has, you can't train that. You're either this way or you're not. Like he liked it. Tenacity he had. So I always thought about that. You can't train that. You're either this way or you're not.
Well, some people, they can get better at it. You can get better at tenacity. You can get better at mental strength. It's not totally innate. Like some people are just born with it, though. Some people are ferocious from the jump.
Where did you fall in that spectrum?
I don't remember because it was so long ago. But I always had unusual power because I have a weird frame, like I have very large hands for my body and I have wide shoulders and I can generate a lot of force. And so the problem with that is I would load up. And it took me a long time.
What do you mean load up? I'm sorry.
I would try to knock people out all the time. That was all. Like this is
I can't
most
imagine.
Taekwondo tournaments. Like a lot of most of the fights are won by points. They're won by decision. I won most of my fights by knockout. A lot of them by knockout. I mean, maybe not most of them, but I was always trying to knock someone unconscious.
What does it feel like to knock somebody out? Is it satisfying? Did it scare you at all?
It's shocking. And it doesn't feel good. It never feels like great. I would pretend it felt great. I'd be like, yeah, but meanwhile I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
Part of me would be like, what the fuck? It's always felt weird. There was one time that I never recovered from when I was 19 years old. I fought in Anaheim, California. Flew out here to fight in the Nationals. Won my first fight. Then I won my second fight. I was fighting this kid, and I was there with just me and my friend Junksick. He was coaching me. He was cornering me. And this guy, they had their whole team with them, and there's all these people in the stands that were, I remember saying, come on, Johnny, get him, Johnny, get him, Johnny. And I knew this dude was just a little slow, and he was doing some things, and I was seeing some openings, and I hit him harder than I've ever hit anybody in my life. I hit him with a wheel kick, I hit him so hard, I was limping for a couple days afterwards because my heel hurt from hitting his head. And I flatlined him. He face planted, he started snoring. And he never got up. They carried him off in a stretcher. He was unconscious for half an hour. And they eventually carried him off, put him in a stretcher, brought him to the hospital. But he literally never stood up and walked around. And
that's scary.
It scared the shit out of me. And
then
I went back.
Liked the dude?
I didn't know the dude. He was from Chicago. I was from Boston. And we just met in California.
That's what's weird about boxers. Like, beating somebody up that you're not angry at.
Right.
Is a wild thing to think about.
It is wild. Yeah, they do it all the time. A lot of MMA fighters, they're good friends up until a lot of them train together, and then they go and they fight. But I went back to my instructor, and my instructor was a hard man. This Korean dude who had been taught by General Chae Young-yi, who's the original founder of Taekwondo, who used to train troops in Vietnam. I mean, this guy was hard. And when I went back and told Mr. Kim, I said, we were talking about the tournament. He goes, I heard you had a really good knockout. And I said, it was very scary. I go, made me nervous. I go, because he never got up. I mean, I thought he was dead. And he goes, sometimes they die.
Wow.
And then he walked away.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh shit, they is me.
Yo, how old were you then?
19.
Jeez.
And that was the decline of my Taekwondo career from that moment on. My fighting career, I fought for a couple more years, but I lost a lot of my enthusiasm with that one fight.
Did the fighting and the stand-up overlap?
They overlapped for 3 kickboxing fights. I had 3 kickboxing fights while I was doing comedy, and I wasn't committing 100% to either one of them.
That's interesting.
I was half in with both, and then I realized I couldn't do it anymore.